Alright guys, how you doing? It's Rabea. I hope you're all doing extremely well today. So you may have seen recently I did a video demo of the absolutely awesome Friedman BE100 Deluxe amplifier. That was announced at NAMM 2020 and it's basically their new flagship. It's an incredible amplifier. Link in the description box if you want to watch that video. But following in suit, we are looking at another brand new amplifier for 2020 from Friedman Amps, and that is the Ch1 Les Signature Amplifier. So if you don't know who Ch1 Les is, he was originally, I believe, in Rat, and then also moved on to Ozzy Osbourne, which was where he sort of became most famous during the Bark at the Moon album and stuff like that. He's an absolutely awesome player. I remember specifically listening to Bark at the Moon. When he got to the guitar solo, I remember thinking this guy can really play. And I didn't know who that was at the time when I was younger, but now I do. So yeah, basically phenomenal player, really just awesome soaring lead tones, proper tight rhythm. He's a really good rhythm player as much as he's a great lead player. So I have absolutely no doubt that this amplifier is going to sound awesome. I mean, look at it. It already looks amazing. But we'll have a quick look at the spec and then we'll jump straight into some tones. So the Ch1 Les Signature Friedman is 100 watts. It's EL34 powered with 5 12AX7s, I believe, in the preamp. And what we're basically looking at is a clean and then a dirty with 2 voices. The clean is based off kind of like a Marshall Plexi circuit, so you can do the whole wind the gain and volume all the way up and just absolutely gun it, which I believe is what Ch1 Les does. So anyone in the first few rows of the crowd probably don't have that great a hearing anymore. But you know, that's running a clean channel on full whack, you know, that's 100 watts, it's really going to cut. But yeah, it's also got a bright switch, which works just the same as on the Friedman BE100 Deluxe, which is a 3-way toggle switch. In the center, there is no bright added. To the left is a little bit, and to the right is even more. Then the second channel, the overdrive channel, has 2 different voices, but really it's based around that kind of JCM 800 vibe. So it's a super articulate, really top-endy, in a nice way, Marshall kind of tone. It really cuts, it's percussive, it's articulate, but it's got a nice amount of chunk to it too. And basically what you've got is a little 2-way toggle switch, which just adds more gain. I don't know if it adds another clipping stage or another gain stage, but essentially you go from what I would say is like a mid to high gain kind of channel, and then you switch it over and then you just got loads more gain, and you can really get some insane lead tones on that channel as well. The overdrive channel also has the 3-band EQ and your gain, and then your master section, obviously you've got your master volume, you've got presence, and you've got thump, which in other words is like depth or resonance. It's a really useful control, and I do love the voicing of the thump control on the Friedman stuff, because it just adds that sort of low mid punch that you want, really girths up the sound. So if you're using like a Strat and you dial in more of the thump, it'll be a nice chunky well supported Strat tone. On the back of the amplifier, you can see you've got speaker outs, you've got an impedance selector between 4, 8 and 16, you've got Friedman's highly recommended effects loop. There's also a switch on the back for half power, so you can switch this from 100 watts down to 50. I think one of my favorite features overall is the vibe of this amplifier, the way it looks. It's just this leery, bright red, awesome looking beast. It's the same size as a BE100, so it's a big amplifier head. Not too heavy though, which I like. But it looks sick in this red Tolex, covered in red Tolex. And another really nice feature that I love is you've got Ch1 Les initials on the front, but it kind of looks like Japanese sort of kanji. And the other small little touch as well is that you've got power on and off, but then you've got standby or go. So I think that's quite cool as well. So I've got my Strat, I've got my Les Paul, I've got my ML3 Bea Carthus burst with the silo humbucker in the bridge. And yeah, let's just check it out and see how it sounds. Okay, here we go. We're going to start on the clean channel and move up in gain. So I wanted to start out by 12ing everything in the clean channel. So the EQ, gain channel volume, and the thump and presence are all at 12 o'clock. There's no bright switch engaged. And I wanted to start with my guitar because it's got the highest output pickups in it. I just figured it was a good test for the clean channel because we know a Strat and a Les Paul is going to sound good. Anyway, here we go. Neck pickup, clean channel, everything at 12. So it's a straight up clean tone. With the humbucker, you know, we're losing a little bit of definition. If I switch in the bright switch just to one side, we'll hear it before. Here it comes. And now here's the bright switch in full swing. So you can hear that by adding the bright switch, it's almost breaking up the amp a little bit more. So with that in mind, let's turn down the gain, boost the channel volume. So we're thinning out a little bit because we've lost a bit of the gain. Woo. You start turning the channel volume up, it starts to get pokey. Right, let's put the bright switch back in the middle. So I really like the clean on with humbuckers, you know, with the guitar this modern, it's really sounding good. This is both pickups together. Let's put a little bit of brightness back in. So I'm loving this clean channel with a modern sounding guitar with humbuckers that are much higher output, and I'm still getting a lot of clarity, definition and vibe, which I really, really like. So what I'm going to do now is boost the gain. Let's boost the gain to about 7-ish. I'm going to put a little bit of brightness in, and I'm going to back off a little bit of bass, boost a bit of treb. Let's have a listen to that. Bridge pickup. Sounds really good. Bright switch all the way over. It's definitely Plexi vibes, definitely AC/DC vibes. Again, with a modern guitar. So now I'm just going to crank the gain, volume just over halfway. Once the gain goes past around 8, the bright switch becomes inactive. I could play that for hours. That's a great sound. You know, it's like, I think obviously the pickup's doing a little bit of work in terms of giving me a little bit more gain, but the feel and the sound of that channel is awesome, especially when you gun it like that, because you get that barky Brit rock thing. Sounds so good. Let's boost some presence, take out a bit of thump. So opened up the mid-range. Sounds fantastic. Less thump, a little more channel volley. Okay, I'm switching over to the Strat. I've not touched anything from the last excerpt. That was really good for like the hard rock high gain with a very modern sounding sort of humbucker. So now we're going opposite end of the spectrum with my Strat. Bare knuckle 63 veneer board set in. Here we go. Really loving this channel, even, you know, just having not touched anything since I played with the other guitar on the Strat. Sounds really good. So let's see if we can make it even more dirty. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn the volume and the gain on full. Add a bit of thump, back off a bit of presence, see what happens. Well, it would be absolute sacrilege not to plug in the '71 Les Paul Custom. So we've done that, and everything's gunned. So let's have a listen to the clean channel with the Les Paul. Also wanted to get that kind of ambient push clean thing that I love so much, because I feel like this amp's just going to do it really easily. So I've sort of dialed in something, quite a bit of gain on the clean, but the volume of the channel is quite low. Bright switch is on the first of the two, and yeah, loads of reverb and delay. This is how it sounds. Okay, so now we've moved on to channel 2, the gain channel. So this is the kind of GACM 800 vibe that you can throw on the toggle switch to add more gain. 3-band EQ, everything's at 12 o'clock. Let's have a listen. That sounds ridiculous. It feels really good. It's got that weighty percussive thing that I love. All right, I'm going to show you what the thump does. If I take it out, back to halfway. Sounds great. 3/4. All the way up. So it adds a load of girth. Presence, just so you can hear. All the way off. Halfway. Starts to add that nice sizzle. All the way up. It's not unbearable, but it's too much. All right, so I just figured I'd show you those two controls because they're really useful, and that's how you can really get, really for me it's about those two controls. The thump and the presence give you that little bit extra when you find the channel and the sound, you're like, ah, it's a good sound, I just need a bit more. Use the thump or the presence. You know, try and leave the EQ where it is, in my opinion, because it really works. But anyway, let's see what happens when you throw on a bit more gain. Oh, it feels and sounds fantastic. And one thing I've noticed is, like, when you run it on the kind of lower of the two gain modes on the second gain stage, the response and the feel and the attack and everything, it's way more like that sort of old school Marshall vibe. So like when you start playing a lot faster and doing that stuff, there's like less of that saggy, compressed, easy kind of feel. It's really about digging in and getting those really nice pick attacky notes. Like, that's how it feels like. That's the kind of style that you have to play if you want to do the lead thing. Obviously, everyone plays how they want, I suppose. But, you know, for me, that works really well with this channel. Oh, it's a great rhythm channel as well. Let's just take a little bit of thump out. Yeah, here we go. Alright, so now let's back down the gain. Oh, it sounds so good. Back down the gain, put the bass back in, a bit more thump. Oh, and now I'm just going to throw on the higher gain switch. So this is gain at just about 2 o'clock. Great. And now here comes the extra gain. Oh, now it's become like that. Immediately I feel like I'm hearing JCM 800. Wow. Okay, let's back off some presence. A little bit of that. Boost. Bit of gain. Oh my god, it sounds so good. Right, let's try this. It's great, absolutely fantastic sounding amp. Like, this demo could probably end here, but I want to keep playing. So, you know. Well then, I got carried away. I am genuinely loving this amplifier. I was so impressed with the Bea100 Deluxe because that thing is like a tweaker's delight. You can get it to do similar to this. You can then switch a few switches and suddenly it's like metal, suddenly it's sludge, suddenly it's blues, so it kind of does everything. Whereas this does what you want it to do, what it says on the tin, which is you want that like hard rock, high gain, LA, sleazy sunset, just riffage, shred 80s hair metal stuff. This is the bad boy. This is the one that I would go to now. Now I've used it and I've played through it. I feel like that's what I could get out of this amplifier and I would not struggle at all. So if you're in the market for something that will absolutely inspire you to give you that just awesome, like if I want to play like Nuno now, I could use an amp like this. That's kind of how I feel about it. It does that vibe. It's that JCM 800 thing on steroids, and then you've got the clean channel, which is like a plexi, and you can gun that. It just sounds so good with the Strat, with the Les Paul, with my guitar. I'm just blown away, really. Friedman, Dave Friedman, you're an absolute monster when it comes to amps like that sound like this. Really, really, you are. So yeah, fantastic. Obviously, it's not cheap, but at the end of the day, you're paying for something that sounds absolutely fantastic, and it's an investment. It's not the kind of thing you just buy and sell quick on. It's like this is the kind of thing that you'd buy and you would use for a long time and enjoy every second of it. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Thanks to Friedman for sending this amplifier over. I would love to know what you think in the comment section below. Links to this amplifier and the Bea100 Deluxe video, and obviously links to all that stuff in the description box. Please like, subscribe and share. I've been Rabea, and I'll see you all very soon.